Good. Okay. So I'm Aisha Naseer. I work for Fujitsu Labs of Europe as the research manager for AI ethics. And we have been working with the AI4People for the past 3 years. It's the third year now. So just a little bit on the approach that we as Fujitsu have taken and are taking at the moment. Um, Wait a second. Okay. So uh, we understand that in order to recognize the importance of the technology and the social economical factors, it is important to not only consider the social aspects but also the non-technical aspects of AI. Did I stop sharing my screen? Yes, I did.
You stop sharing the screen.
Okay, sorry about that again. Can you see it now?
Yes, we can.
So it's important to look at the social as well as the technical the technical aspects in the society, and in doing so, we cannot simply, we cannot ignore the fact that the decisions made by the AI are affecting the human dignity. They are affecting the human presence as well as the human agency as a whole. So for this, so we look at we start to look at the social aspects. We have got the regulatory aspects, the standardization, the certification, and also we are looking at the code of conduct, the governance, and the education from the non-technical aspects as well. We released our Fujitsu Air Group commitment. AI commitment last year in March, and then we also established our external advisory committee on AI ethics. Also, in terms of the education, we have launched e-training in Japan on the AI ethics, which is rolled out to most of the employees, and it would be soon rolled out to Europe as well. Um, could you see the next slide? So I was talking about this slide actually, which you could see now. So yeah, I mean, we have been participating in various regulatory aspects and the standardization. We have participated in Oceanus, ISO, IEC, and also we're a member of the ECI. In terms of what Julia mentioned earlier about the co-creation of a framework that we have jointly established, we call it the Fair Banking Framework, the FBI, and I'm very pleased to share this and to offer this in this summit working session as one of the best practice exemplars that we have trialed with the Rio data from the bank. So you can see there are like four key components of that. We have inherent data bias assessment. We have fairness on the top right, fairness criterion, metrics adaptations. We have the bottom right is bias mitigation and fair banking strategies, and on the bottom left corner is the model comparisons and analysis. And we have gone through this exercise as a team to understand and to unveil what challenges we can face from the inherent biases in the data. So the core is the human-centric approach, which I mentioned earlier, and the external factors such as the existing fairness definitions, the existing fairness tools and matrices, expert knowledge on the domain, the business logics, regulatory aspects, and the context-based AI fairness are considered while establishing this framework. And I'm also pleased to say that the results that we obtained by using this approach has been very promising in terms of understanding the bias, so we could detect the bias, so where the bias is, how the bias is inherent within the data, where is it in the data, and secondly, if there is bias, what's the best way to mitigate that bias, how can we address that bias, how can we mitigate it, and we can get rid of it. So that's a very how should I say the very simple, not simple, but but in a way, a sort of a comprehensive, and not too complicated, not a black box, very transparent. This is how I should say it. A transparent way of detecting bias, mitigating bias. Yeah, I mean, this is something that we have developed, and we also have a paper in a conference that was accepted last month. We have the conference as FILA workshop in the IEEE Big Data Conference that is accepted. The work around this framework that we have done. And so I'm more than happy to share, if you have any questions within the panel or the audiences, to share more details. And I look forward to have this included as part of our final version of the white paper. Thank you.